You eat these foods every single day. You've been eating them your whole life. And right now, as you watch this, they are silently wiping out the billions of bacteria that protect your gut, your immunity, your mood, and your brain. This isn't about eating clean. This is about what's happening at a microscopic level inside your gut that most doctors never talk about. And by the end of this video, you will never look at your grocery cart the same way again. Stay with me, because what we're about to show you inside your own digestive system is something most people will never know. Before we get into the foods, you need to understand what we're dealing with. Your gut microbiome is not a single organ. It is an entire ecosystem. 38 trillion microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, archaea, viruses, living inside your digestive tract. They outnumber your own cells. They collectively carry 150 times more genetic material than your entire human genome. Your gut microbiome controls your immune system. 70% of your immune cells live right here in your gut lining. It controls your mood. 90% of your serotonin is manufactured here. It controls your energy through producing short-chain fatty acids that fuel your mitochondria. It controls your weight, your inflammation levels, your sleep quality, your cognitive performance, and your long-term risk of cancer, heart disease, and autoimmune conditions. This ecosystem took millions of years to co-evolve with the human body. But in a single generation, our diet has started destroying it. Here is exactly how. Food number 1. And this one is going to surprise you, because this food was specifically marketed as the healthy alternative. Artificial sweeteners. Sucralose, aspartame, saccharin, acesulfame K. You'll find them in diet sodas, protein bars, sugar-free yogurt, chewing gum, flavored water, and hundreds of foods labeled as healthy or low-calorie. A landmark 2014 study published in Nature, one of the world's most prestigious scientific journals, showed that artificial sweeteners directly and measurably altered the gut microbiome composition in both mice and humans within just 1 week. The mechanism? These molecules are not digested by your body. They reach your colon intact. And there, your gut bacteria try to metabolize them. The result? A dramatic reduction in beneficial species, specifically lactobacillus and bacteroids, while simultaneously stimulating the growth of glucose-intolerant bacterial profiles. Translation: artificial sweeteners cause a gut bacteria shift that actually increases blood sugar dysregulation, the exact opposite of what they're marketed for. And it gets worse. Sucralose, the one in the yellow packets, has been shown to directly inhibit bacterial growth by up to 50% even at concentrations found in a single diet soda. We are talking about a legal food additive that functions as a partial antibiotic inside your gut. Food number 2. This one is in virtually every packaged food you own right now. Emulsifiers, specifically polysorbate, 80 and carboxymethylcellulose, also called CMC or cellulose gum. Emulsifiers are added to processed food to stop water and oil from separating. They keep your salad dressing creamy, your ice cream smooth, your bread soft. You'll find them in mayonnaise, processed meats, bread, biscuits, dairy products, low-fat anything, and almost every packaged sauce or dressing on the shelf. In 2015, a study in Nature, again, Nature, found that these 2 emulsifiers, at concentrations specifically approved for human consumption by the FDA, caused significant erosion of the protective mucus layer lining the gut within just 12 weeks. Your mucus layer is your first line of defense. It separates your 38 trillion gut bacteria from your gut wall. When that layer erodes, bacteria get too close to the epithelium, triggering chronic low-grade inflammation. The tight junctions between gut wall cells loosen, creating what is clinically called increased intestinal permeability, or what's commonly known as leaky gut. Toxins flood through. The immune system fires constantly, and you are permanently inflamed. From a food ingredient that's in your bread. Quick note before we continue, and I want to be transparent about this. A lot of you watching this are going to ask me, what probiotic do you recommend? I've done the research, and the one I keep coming back to is Physician's Choice Probiotics, 60 billion CFU. Here's why. Most probiotics you see on shelves have 1 or 2 strains and low CFU counts. This one has 10 clinically studied strains, 60 billion colony-forming units, acid-resistant capsules that actually survive to your gut, and built-in organic prebiotics. No gluten, no sweeteners, no dairy. Link is in the description and pinned comment. It's on Amazon. Now, back to the foods destroying your gut. Food number 3. One of the most controversial and one of the most damaging. Refined seed oils. Vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil. These oils did not exist in the human diet before the 20th century. They are an industrial invention, extracted from seeds using chemical solvents like hexane, then deodorized, bleached, and refined. The problem is not just that they are processed, it's their fatty acid profile. These oils are sky-high in omega-6 linoleic acid. And while some omega-6 is fine, the modern Western diet has pushed our omega-6 to omega-3 ratio to somewhere between 20 to 1 and 40 to 1. Historically, humans evolved on a 4 to 1 ratio. Excess omega-6 linoleic acid is metabolized in the gut and drives the production of pro-inflammatory eicosanoids, chemical messengers that trigger gut inflammation and disrupt the mucosal barrier. Research also shows that high linoleic acid intake directly reduces populations of bifidobacterium, one of the most studied and beneficial bacterial species in the gut, while promoting the overgrowth of proteobacteria, a family linked to obesity, inflammatory bowel disease, and metabolic syndrome. And these oils are in everything. Restaurant fryers, packaged crackers, crisps, cereals, almost every supermarket ready meal, salad dressings, marinades, shop-bought bread. Food number 4, alcohol. And before you say, but red wine has resveratrol, let me stop you there. Because the dose required to get meaningful resveratrol benefit would kill you from alcohol toxicity first. The research on alcohol and gut health is unambiguous, and it is damaging regardless of the type. Wine, beer, spirits, all of it. Here is what ethanol does in your gut. First, it is directly cytotoxic to bacterial cell membranes, meaning it literally kills bacteria on contact. Both harmful and beneficial. But beneficial strains like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium are particularly sensitive. Second, within 24 hours of moderate alcohol consumption, studies show measurable reductions in microbiome diversity. Third, alcohol increases intestinal permeability. It loosens those tight junctions we already talked about, independently of inflammation. Fourth, as the beneficial bacterial space is cleared, alcohol creates perfect conditions for Candida albicans overgrowth, a fungal species that drives bloating, sugar cravings, fatigue, and brain fog. Fifth, alcohol triggers the production of acetaldehyde, a metabolic byproduct that is classified as a Group 1 carcinogen by the WHO, in your gut, from a drink marketed as a social pleasure. Food number 5, ultra-processed refined carbohydrates. White bread, white pasta, packaged cereals, crackers, pastries, most breakfast bars, anything made with refined white flour. Here is the core problem. Your most beneficial gut bacteria, the species that produce the short-chain fatty acids that heal your gut wall, regulate your immune system, and feed your colon cells. These bacteria need complex, formidable fiber to survive. They are fiber-dependent. They literally cannot exist without it. Refined carbohydrates have had that fiber stripped out entirely. So when refined carbs hit your colon, two things happen simultaneously. 1. The beneficial, fiber-dependent strains like Faecalibacterium prosnitzii, Akkermansia mucinifila, and Roseburia, species linked to anti-inflammatory effects and metabolic health, are starved. They collapse. 2. Harmful species like Clostridium difficile, E. coli variants, and Proteobacteria, which thrive on simple sugars, bloom explosively. And this bacterial population shift happens with every meal. 3 times a day. Every day. The research is overwhelming. Populations eating Western refined carbohydrate diets have 30 to 40% lower microbiome diversity than populations eating traditional high-fiber diets. 30 to 40% less biodiversity in one generation. Food number 6. And this one is the most controversial, because it's something most of us have no choice about. Chlorinated tap water. Chlorine is added to municipal water supplies to kill pathogens, and it does that job well. It has saved countless lives from waterborne diseases. But here is the biological reality. Chlorine does not discriminate. It does not spare your gut bacteria when you drink it. Chlorine functions as a non-selective antimicrobial agent. At the concentrations found in tap water, which vary significantly by region and by how close you are to the water treatment plant, chronic daily consumption has been associated with reductions in total gut bacterial load and diversity. The impact is not as acute as, say, a direct antibiotic. But the accumulation over weeks and years of daily exposure adds a low-level constant pressure on your microbiome. Simple, evidence-based mitigation, a high-quality water filter, charcoal or reverse osmosis, removes chlorine and chloramines before you consume them. This is one of the lowest effort upgrades you can make for your gut. Now here is the real horror. It's not just that each of these foods damages your gut in isolation. It's that most people are consuming all 6 simultaneously every single day. Artificial sweeteners in your morning coffee and protein shake. Emulsifiers in your bread and salad dressing. Seed oils in your lunch from a restaurant fryer. Alcohol with dinner. Refined carbs at every meal. Chlorinated water all day long. The compounding effect of these 6 inputs drives a state called dysbiosis, a chronic, pathological imbalance of the gut microbiome. And dysbiosis doesn't just give you a bloated stomach. The research links it to chronic fatigue syndrome, depression and anxiety, autoimmune disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, colorectal cancer, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, eczema, psoriasis, and asthma. These are not fringe theories. These are the findings from some of the most well-funded research programs in the world, published in journals like Nature, Cell, The Lancet, and the New England Journal of Medicine. Your gut microbiome is not a minor organ. It is the command center of your entire physiology, and you are feeding it poison. Okay, now the good news, and there is genuinely good news. The gut microbiome has remarkable plasticity. Unlike other body systems that take years to repair, the microbiome can begin meaningfully shifting within 72 hours of dietary change. Within 4 weeks of consistent intervention, studies show measurable, significant improvements in species diversity, inflammation markers, and gut barrier integrity. Here is the evidence-based gut recovery protocol. Number 1. Remove the 6 gut destroyers we just covered. That alone will slow the damage immediately. Number 2. Add fermented foods daily. Kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, natural live yogurt, kombucha. A 2021 Stanford study in Cell found that a high-fermented food diet increased microbiome diversity and reduced 19 inflammatory markers, including the IL-6 cytokine linked to depression, diabetes, and cancer. Number 3. Eat 30 different plant species per week. The American Gut Project found this is the single strongest predictor of microbiome diversity. Mix your vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices. Number 4. Prioritize prebiotic fiber. Garlic, leeks, onion, asparagus, green banana, oats, chicory root. These foods directly feed your most beneficial bacterial species. Number 5. Consider a high-quality multi-strain probiotic, which I'll talk about in just a moment. Number 6. Filter your tap water. And number 7. Cut alcohol to as close to zero as you can manage. Now, for probiotics. Here is what most people get wrong. They pick up a probiotic from a drugstore shelf with 1 strain and 1 billion CFU. Take it for a week, feel nothing, and give up. That's not how this works. For a probiotic to actually meaningfully support microbiome recovery, you need multi-strain diversity, a high enough CFU count to survive the gastrointestinal journey, acid-resistant encapsulation so the bacteria are actually alive when they reach your intestines, and ideally a prebiotic component so the bacteria have fuel to colonize once they arrive. After a lot of research, the product I recommend, and I'm going to be fully transparent that this is an affiliate link, is Physician's Choice Probiotics, 60 billion CFU, on Amazon. 10 clinically studied strains, Lactobacillus acidophilus, Bifidobacterium longum, L. plantarum, L. rhamnosus, and 6 more. 60 billion colony-forming units. Acid-resistant capsules. Organic prebiotic complex built in. No gluten, no dairy, no artificial sweeteners, no GMOs. Shelf-stable, no refrigeration. It's one of the best-reviewed, most trusted probiotic supplements available right now, and the formulation reflects exactly what the research says you need. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. Check it out. Let's bring this home. 6 foods. Artificial sweeteners, destroying your beneficial bacteria and acting as a partial antibiotic. Emulsifiers, eroding your mucus layer and causing leaky gut. Refined seed oils, driving gut inflammation and collapsing microbiome diversity. Alcohol, directly killing bacteria and feeding candida. Refined carbs, starving your best gut bacteria and feeding the harmful ones. And chlorinated water, a low-level daily antimicrobial your gut absorbs every single day. Your gut controls your immunity. It controls your mood. It controls your energy, your weight, your inflammation, your sleep. And it is under daily attack from foods that are in every supermarket, every restaurant, every vending machine. But now you know. And knowing is the first step. If this video changed the way you think about food and gut health, please share it. This information should not be hidden. Leave a comment with what you're going to cut first. Subscribe for weekly deep dives into the science of your body. The link to the probiotic I recommend is in the description. And I will see you in the next one.